The series is set in a futuristic world, and it is the year 4386. On one peaceful day in the city of Waxie, a giant demon frog appears and begins wreaking havoc. As it wrecks the city, the magic squad appears to face it. Amidst the battle, their leader Zhao Yi sees a red-eyed kid about to be crushed under the frog. He dashes in and saves him just in the nick of time. Now fast forward to the current day. A red-eyed kid, Wang Ling, is being bullied on the first day of school when Sunrong, the school beauty, swoops in to save him. However, Wang thanks her and offers her money. Later, all the students are undergoing a test to assess their spiritual power. They're supposed to punch the head of the spirit of the demon frog who is trapped somewhere in a dungeon. Two students, Chen Chao and Guo Hao, take the test and are immediately assigned to the elite class along with Sun. It's finally Wang's turn, and as he runs to punch the spirit, it recognizes him as the red-eyed kid and dissipates his spirit in fear. Just before the punch connects, a power surge is created by the sheer force of the punch, and Wang's power reads infinite nines. Wang is now also assigned to the elite class. During their first class, all the students are supposed to summon spirits. Sun summons a dog-like skeleton, while Wang mistakenly uses a bit of his strength and accidentally summons the giant frog. Assessing the dangerous situation, the teacher merges the skeleton and the frog, and it takes the form of a green dog. Sun then proceeds to name him Froggy 2. Now we see a flashback of Wang's childhood. Wang as a kid was too overpowered and would often destroy the things around him, especially when he would get emotional. To control his powers to some extent, his father gave him golden pills and created a seal on the back of his neck. This allowed him to conceal and control his powers and live a normal life. I mean, at least to some extent. As school elections come up, Chen and Sun stand for the position. Chen seems to have a likelier chance to win the election. However, Sun enchants the students with a seduction spell and gives them different gifts. Wang is given 5 packs of ramen for 5 boats, and the two are taking a class. Wang asks if Sun has a golden pill. However, she takes the expression as eating the pill and ends up doing so. This lowers her energy and she faints. This undoes the incantation and Chen ends up winning the elections. As life goes on for the characters, they are taking classes regarding the creation of pills. Chen brings his family cauldron for the special class but ends up breaking it. He gets extremely upset by it and ends up getting possessed by a demon, while Guo Hao brings a magical furnace. Things seem to be going well, but then Froggy 2 tries to absorb Guo's magical furnace's energy so that it can turn into the giant demon frog again. However, Wang understands that it's up to something and runs after him to get back Guo's pot. As Wang gets the pot back, Guo misunderstands it for him stealing it and shoots a purple liquid at him, which ends up going straight into Chen's mouth. He immediately passes out and starts to turn purple. Long story short, Guo and Wang then create an antidote with the help of Froggy 2. Chen gets cured, and when he wakes up, he finds his cauldron repaired by Wang and Guo. Chen gets beyond happy at this and a beautiful trio is formed. A great twist comes in Wang's life when Sun asks him out on a date. However, Wang notices the presence of 2 snipers ready to assassinate Sun. Seeing Wang silent, Sun takes it as a yes. Pictures of Sun and Wang go up on social media, stating that they are dating. Seeing this, the Shadow faction leader smirks and cancels the assassination for the time being. The next day, Wang is forced to go on a date with her as she shows up at his house. The two then go to an amusement park. Sun has rented the park for the whole day and spends time with Wang. As she sends her guards away, the hitmen try to assassinate her once again. However, Wang keeps getting in the way, till Zhao Yi finally takes notice of the event and sends the magic squad to protect Sun. However, he also sees Wang's powers. To avoid trouble, Wang makes Sun forget about parts of the day where she witnessed his powers. The next day, 3 elite assassins enter the school despite elite level security. Zhao Yi notices one of the assassins on the camera and takes the kids to safety in his office. The students don't notice this as they are absorbed in their phones. Wang goes out to get a delivery package. As he opens the office door, he ends up knocking out one of the assassins. On his way out, he walks past Su Jian, an assassin who has hidden an invisibility cloak. Wang confirms to him that he can see him. Su Jian tries to murder Wang, but it backfires and he ends up getting defeated. As Zhao Yi appears, he applies the forgetting spell on him and alters his memories to believe he defeated the assassin, as he pretends to be lying down injured. The next day, all of Wang's friends visit him with several gifts. Seeing as how Wang's mother might be Sun's future mother-in-law, she tries to get on her good side. Reading the air, his mother leaves the room. Guo Hao then pulls out a watch-like gadget that measures the students' cultivation energy more accurately. Then we are shown the students of School 59 doing the same. One of the school students, Tang Jingze, gets first place. However, as Wang and his team measure their energy, Wang raises his energy to the point where it breaks the system and it starts to read null. Students of School 59 just thinks of it to be a glitch and to move on. As the power levels of School 59 and School 60 are toe-to-toe, the two schools are supposed to compete against each other in the Spirit Sword competition. Seeing as how Guo, Chen, Sun, and Wang were the students with the highest power in the competition, they decide to make them represent School 60. However, Miss Pan advises against it, as they are all just first years. However, Zhao Yi states that the first years this time are strong and can definitely compete. They decide to let the students know. Meanwhile, Tang Jinze openly challenges Sun to fight in the competition. At School 59, Tang chooses the 5th member for the team, as they are a member short. He assures that with his help, they'll win the match and invites He Bufang, a delinquent student, to fight from his side. The next morning, all the students are asked to bring their spirit swords. Wang pulls out a small spirit sword that looks like a kid's toy, but has immense spiritual power. When Wang's friends see the sword, they all make fun of it, but only Froggy 2 realizes the aura emanating from within. As the team boards the bus to the competition site, Zhao Yi gets news of the Shadow Faction's leader being captured. However, upon reaching the interrogation site, Zhao Yi realizes that it was a dummy and the building explodes in an attempt to murder Zhao Yi. Meanwhile, Miss Pan and Miss Xie of School 59 meet. The two seem to be rivals. Miss Xie shoots a beam at Wang in order to read his power. It shows his power level to be a measly 5. However, this damages the talisman on his neck, giving Wang the perfect excuse not to participate. Wang pretends to be injured as he fears his talisman might break and his powers might hurt others. The Shadow Faction leader watches Sun get worried over Wang from afar and chuckles, coming up with a new plan. As Wang is being rushed to the infirmary, Tang steps in and reintroduces himself and throws sarcastic marks on Wang. This angers Sun and she pulls out her sword, trying to attack Tang. However, Administrator Wang steps in and stops her. Wang is taken to the infirmary, while the rest of the students are given a tour of School 59. Wang uses his teleportation technique to escape from there and informs his father that his talisman is about to break. Knowing this, his father rushes to School 59. Meanwhile, He Bufang introduces himself to Sun and asks her to switch sides. Sun is bothered by this. Chen steps in furiously. However, as the two throws hands, He Bufang disintegrates his arms and throws him away. Just then, Wang catches him in midair and restores his arm before anyone can see. After this event, the teams go back to their rooms. While on the lookout for some ramen, Wang sees He Bufang talking to a girl that claims to be a new student. However, He Bufang sees through her lies, so the girl fights him and tells him that she's the Shadow Faction's leader. Just then, she spots Wang listening in on the conversation and captures him too. The Shadow Faction leader then shapeshifts into He Bufang and enters a meeting of schools 59 and 60, telling them that Wang has been abducted. Sun immediately realizes that she's being targeted, yet she goes to save Wang with her guards. Meanwhile, an old man is holding He Bufang and Wang captive. However, He Bufang starts to scream for help, so the driver lowers him down into another room. Wang, tied to a crucifix, feels safe that he finally won't have to participate. Just then, Sun and the others arrive for his rescue. As the fight is taking place, Sun is about to be overpowered, so Wang rewinds time and makes it so that Zhao Yi and Sun get the credit for defeating the old man and rescuing him. Despite the injury and abduction of Wang, Zhao Yi doesn't cancel the competition. As the competition starts, Isabel, a School 59 member, analyzes the position of School 60 members. Guo Hua leaves his altar and goes to help Wang. Meanwhile, Chen is defeated by Isabel and the altar of metal ends up going to School 59. At the same time, at the altar of water, Sun is being ganged up upon Tang Jingze and He Bufang. As she is being overpowered, Sun decides to retreat to Guohua. Pretty soon, the school 60 is 0 to 5 and losing rather swiftly. Liang Feng, another school 59 student, walks by Wang, who is lying down, and starts to hurl insults at him before taking control of the altar. Wang lets out a little of his emotions. However, Froggy 2 realizes the doom that awaits the mortal realm if Wang were to unleash his true powers. So he quickly bites on his neck, emerging with him and acting as a seal for his powers. Now with the seal in place, Wang is able to use his powers freely to some extent. With a slight tap of his fingers, he sends Liang flying away. All of School 59 panics as they realize Wang is much stronger than he appears to be. However, Tang Jingze comes up with a new strategy. Wang then heads up to the altar of metal and wakes up Chen while reclaiming it for 60. When Chen wakes up, he is stoked to find out that Wang has turned the tide in their favor and gives him a tight hug. In return, we see Wang smile for the first time. However, amidst all of this, School 60 reclaims 2 altars, bringing the score back to 4 to 1. Sun now comes up with an insightful plan. She and Guo head to the altar of fire, while Wang captures the altar of water. At the altar of earth, the fake He Bufang waits for a chance to assassinate Sun. At the altar of fire, as Sun is about to claim the altar, Guo uses his technique on a student of School 59. However, he trips and it misses him, hitting Sun and pushing her back from the altar. Just then, Tang Jingze along with 2 other students show up, boasting about how they are going to win. Sun hurls her sword at the opponent, but he blocks all of them. Just then, they decide to sacrifice Sun's spirit sword for a one-time use of Guo's spirit sword, Ghost Tooth, which is extremely powerful. Meanwhile, He Bufang reaches the altar of metal and starts to stomp on Chen's face. As the fake He Bufang realizes that everything at this altar is made of metal, she hurls many sharp leaves at Chen. However, Chen ends up awakening his spirit that gives him magically infused arms, with which he starts to pummel the fake He Bufang. Simultaneously, a phoenix appears from Ghost Tooth and blasts Tang Jingze and his party away with a huge blow of fire. School 60 then claimed the altar of fire. However, the fake He Bufang is angered and finally reveals her true identity. Isabelle seems to be keeping an eye on Wang at the altar of water, but then she realizes that it's Froggy 2 in a human form. The real Wang runs to the altar of earth, and as he is about to plunge his sword into the altar, his emotions start to get out of control and his heart starts to beat faster. As Wang is about to give up the sword, Sun comes in and holds the sword with him. This makes Wang realize that she has the power to calm him down. As the two share a beautiful moment together, the Shadow Faction's leader finally stabs Sun, tearing her soul. This makes Wang lose it. To stop the damage, Froggy 2 stops time, but Wang unfreezes and beats the assassin in a barbaric way, while she laughs insanely. Wang finally gets a hold of Sun and runs to save her, but Froggy 2 tells him that once a soul is torn, nothing can be done. Not ready to accept Sun's death, Wang then decides to restart the world. Wang's spirit sword tells him that a lost life can't be brought back. Froggy 2 states that he can reverse time, but he'd need a great amount of spiritual power. Wang agrees to lend that energy as saving Sun is more important. As the two try to reverse time, space and time converge, creating a new world. In the new world, everything seems to be perfect and going in order. However, memories of Sun seem to flicker in Wang's mind, making him cry. Meanwhile, as Sun's soul reaches the underworld, King Yama realizes that she is related to Wang and realizes that he might end up destroying the underworld along with the two worlds, one of which he has created. Scared, he sends back Sun's soul. As Sun comes back to life, the spirit sword in its human form briefs her of the situation. Sun decides to wake Wang up and stabs him with his own spirit sword. As Wang wakes up, he's happy to be by Sun's side. However, they are unable to reverse time, as Wang ends up breaking the laws of nature. Froggy 2 reveals that he can make their time travel to the past. Sun decides to go with it as she believes that her feelings for Wang transcend space and time, and no matter what life she's living, she'll always find a way back to his side. As the two go back in time, Wang immediately defeats the Shadow Faction leader and gets a new amulet from his father. Froggy too warns him that he won't be able to feel emotions again, to which Wang replies that he chooses world peace. The end.